Before you go in quickly, good afternoon. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. How's everything with you?
Last night you made some comments on the political platform that you're getting some backlash for right now. Is there anything that you would want to clarify at this time?
Backlash from whom?
Members of the opposition, even some within your own party, who felt that the way you express yourself may convey a message that you ought not to be saying.
Well, I didn't see any members of the opposition, neither members of my party, having any issues with the statement that I made. What I have seen is a few UNC trolls and UNC ministers who have no moral authority in Trinidad and Tobago to speak on anything in Trinidad and Tobago about any and imply of any divisiveness. I stand by my statements. My statements were 100% that this UNC administration, by their actions and by their words, have perpetuated a level of viciousness, of hate, of discriminatory conduct against the people of my constituency and of the people of what they have termed PNM constituencies. We have seen a minister of this Kamla-led administration referring to PNM supporters in a candlelight vigil last week in San Juan and calling them vagrants wrapped in white jerseys. Where was the outrage? Where was the outrage? We have seen a minister less than 18 months ago, the People's National Movement and this country had a tragedy where the former minister in the Ministry of Education and the former minister for Malabar Mausika perished in a fire with her children. And today we have sitting in this honorable house called the Parliament, a minister who watched my colleague Camille Robinson Regis crying in front of her home, in front of then Minister Lisa Morris-Julian home, crying. And you could recall, members of the media, what this now minister said about my colleague. I can't even repeat it here. We have had the Prime Minister blaming the Prime Minister and ministers in her administration. Also watching when there is tragedy in Trinidad and Tobago and saying that it's in PNM constituencies. They have trivialized the killing of a young lady, a young girl, 9 years old, and talk about PNM constituencies. So my response was directly to that, to say, one, PNM people, Lavantil people, based on this government's conduct in the last 14 months, they do not like us. The UNC would never like us. And I am certain that the people of Lavantil West would never like the UNC either. And I stand by that.
And the day in context is the UNC and not people of East Indian descent, which is one of the interpretations that people are getting.
I don't think that's one of the interpretations that people are getting. I think that is one of the false narratives that are being pushed by fake UNC pages and pushing out. The they that I refer to, and anyone with any level of common sense in Trinidad and Tobago would know that the they I refer to is the UNC government. Not even UNC supporters, no, the UNC government, this vision.
But the minister you spoke of, he also attacks members of his own ethnicity. So what do you think is really the motive or the agenda?
Well, I believe, the words I think that he has said, that minister has said, that he is a political prostitute. And I believe him 100%. That minister, and to not beat around the bush, Philip Alexander has said 20 times worse things about Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar and members of his now administration in this country, and they have accepted him with open arms. So when that particular minister continues to call any citizen in this country derogatory terms, the country seems to let it pass, to just brush it over. There's a minister that receiving $54,000 a month, and you are describing citizens in the most derogatory ways. And I am calling on civil society. I am calling on members of the media. I'm calling on members of Trinidad and Tobago, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Do not let the UNC's hate, vitriol, and racism be just brushed over. Hold the UNC to account. The PNM is held at a high standard. We in the PNM respect every creed and race. You would never hear us attacking any citizen on the basis of their ethnicity, on the basis of their economic position. We have had an administration now who that has become the norm, calling people grifters, calling anyone who dares to say anything about them, anyone who protesting against anything. You have the UNC and the Prime Minister saying the most vitriol things about citizens. And why are we not holding them to account? Because they are trying to beat this nation into submission. I will not have it. The PNM will not have it. We would not retreat. We would not surrender. Thank you very kindly.